guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. This video, believe it or not, is a PSA. It's a public service announcement. It's not meant to, take any joy in the fact that women are being aggressive and they're going out and deciding to be destructive against men, and men have had enough, and now they're chopping and taking swings back, and they really have the full ability to hurt women. And I think women don't know this. They've been told that they're stunning and brave, they're strong, they're empowered, that they can do no wrong. And so a woman tried this, and she went viral, and of course everybody was, oh, this poor lady, this poor woman, how can men be like this? And then more video comes out. This was a huge trend on Twitter today. And then more video comes out, and then everybody's like, oh, okay, and now I understand why she equal rights, equal lefts kind of thing. You know, I've dated, I don't know how many women in my life. I've been married a couple times, and whenever a girlfriend or a wife or whatever wants to play wrestle a little bit, if you have something in your hand and a woman wants to pry your hand open, they always go for the thumb. But if you tuck your thumb in like this, women can't even pry your hand open. You know, that even when you play wrestle, and I'm getting to my point here in a second, even when you play wrestle, or even if you're goofing around, you still have to be very careful as a guy, because if you really, flexed or grabbed or whatever, you're going to leave bruises, and she'll probably end up being crying and probably afraid, even if you weren't meaning to. In the old comic books, they used to say that Superman never exerted his full power because he was always afraid of the damage he could do. Well, men kind of understand this, and if you've dated or played around with a woman, you know this. But what happens when women decide, okay, playtime's over, and I'm going to get serious, and a man gets serious? We know what happens. So this started out. Let me refresh this page here. I downloaded all the videos in case they disappeared. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm there all day long commenting on things at Bachelor Joker. This video went viral. And this is from Fro Mama, something like that. This is why I always give my number out in public, regardless if I have a man or not, because you never know how a man will react when he gets rejected. This is so sad, and she didn't deserve it at all. Exclamation, 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 exclamation. It's scary out here. Women should not have to do this to protect ourselves. And I'm going to play this video in a moment here. This has been viewed 48.9 million times. And it's been liked 200,000 times, 30,000 bookmarks. I'm one of them. I bookmarked it so I could come back to this story later. And almost 38,000 reposts. I'm going to play this. And for those of you on YouTube, I will drop out all the cursing. For those on local can hear it in its natural form.
What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, what are you gonna do? And I told all these men, like, yo, why this man got a brick on my face? And he's holding a brick, and all these niggas is watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face, and then they all just watch. And they let that nigga get in the car. How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women?
Now, of course, when you see that, you're like, man, her face is really lumped up. Like, it's very swollen. So she's probably got, some small blood vessels that have broken, and the blood will leak into the surrounding tissue and swell up like that pretty bad. It's almost like a mouse. That's what you call a mouse when you see a boxer where he gets a lump on his forehead during a box. Blood vessel breaks, and then it just kind of bleeds in. This is nothing too serious, but it's not good to be dinged upside the head with a brick. And you can see here, all of a sudden, here's a GoFundMe. Help Rhonda recover, organized by Kiera Davis. And, of course, here's a picture of her smiling and being very nice. And, of course, there's all the, we need to stand up for these women, and we need to fight back. We need to protect these women. There's a part I want you to hear in the beginning of this. This is the important part. Pay very close attention.
What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life.
Never did anything in her life.
To hurt anybody.
To hurt anybody. Never did anything in her life to hurt anybody. And we're going to get into this. Because this is what women do. Is they're horrible people. They put down men. They slap men. They hurt men. In many cases, they specifically call out white men. In this instance, and then when something bad happens to them, they play the victim. Oh, woe is me! I didn't do anything wrong. And then on top of that, try to do a GoFundMe to get free money out of this. Well, some internet sleuths out there, because I posted this on Twitter. Some internet sleuths out there went digging through her social media history, and they found gems like this.
Don't you ever fuck with Brianna Taylor ever again.
So she gets a dude. Now, if you ask me, he's just shocked. I think she stopped him to yell at him about something. I mean, I don't know. But he's just kind of standing there, and then she slaps him. He doesn't even react. He's just so surprised. Like almost knocks the glasses off his face, and then she goes strutting away and twerking afterwards. As if to flex. Someone else, now she typed in here repartions, because apparently she doesn't know how to spell reparations. And here's an older gentleman, probably in his 60s, sitting here enjoying a drink or dinner, probably with somebody, although they're not in the video. And this is what she has to say about him.
This is for the fact that you're a white man and I'm a black woman. I have less privilege than you. Thank you.
So she slaps him and says, this is because you're white and I'm black and you basically owe me. And then she says, thank you, and laughs. Now, this guy, did he jump up? Did he throw hands? No. He just continued to sit there and look a little surprised. And this is the problem, is that you've got her now on social media saying, no, I didn't do anything wrong, and I need a GoFundMe, and I need help. And look, here's the thing. Does she deserve to get smacked upside the head with a brick? No, I don't think so. But when you do this for clout on social media and someone decides to snap back at you, because she's throwing hands, and these guys are just sitting there. They're not in an argument. They're not getting heated. She's getting in people's faces and saying things to them and then slapping them. And apparently she did it to a brother, and he decided, okay, if we're going to go there, we're going to go there. Now, this video, I won't play it all the way through. It's 57 seconds. But there's something that's key in here that I want you to hear. She says, we don't need men. We don't need men for protection. We don't need men for anything.
Happy Pride. I hope every black woman is kissing another black woman, because we are the innate protectors and the providers. We protect societies, we protect communities with our intellectual property, with our lived experiences, with our breast milk, with our bodies. We're the ones. And the two. It's not even the three. Because men are not providers and protectors, not innately, because they only protect what they possess. But we protect everybody.
So she's a protector. She doesn't need no man, because women got it. Women have it.
We provide, baby, okay? So I hope you catch a...
And then she just keeps going on. I'm not going to bother playing the rest of it. Well, this is her after she got hit with a brick in the face. And what she out, and I'm not going to play this through because there's so much cursing I'd have to edit out. What's she doing? She's standing outside of the club or some alley or something or other, and there's a bunch of dudes standing around, and she's yelling at them saying, how can you let a man hit me with a brick and then walk away? Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to protect you? Because I'll tell you something. There's a guy right now that's, I think they gave him 10 or 15 years, because he stepped up and decided to protect people. I don't think, it's here's the thing. I don't feel sorry for her nor do I find joy in this. I don't think this is, I don't look at it as a bad part of society or a good part of society. It's what is. This is what is now. It's oh, woe is me. Look at all the horrible things that happened to me. I'm going to try to raise money because this bad thing happened to me. Yet she's going out there and starting to get physical with virtual strangers. And then when something happens, she's surprised. She goes out there and says, I don't need any man. That women are inherently the protectors. We don't need men. And then when something happens, what does she do? Where's the men? Why didn't the men step up? And of course, I forget this gentleman's name. I should probably remember it. But here you have a former Marine that said, you know something, this guy looks like he's going to hurt people. He's saying he's going to hurt people on a train. I'm going to try to pin him down and hold him still. Things go wrong, and now he's looking at 10 to 15 years. I do this for two reasons. Number one, I want you guys to know that there are more and more entitled women that are being raised like this. You see these TikTok women that are doing this. They're doing it for clout. This was, these videos here were on her social media page, this stuff. It's easily found on her social media page. She's proud of it. She thinks it's funny. If a man was doing this and he was caught on video, there'd be people knocking on his door. The cops would be at his door because someone would complain and they'd do some sleuthing because the, Captain Save-A-Hose, they'd be white knighting and looking up where the guy lived, and then they'd be either doxing him or calling the cops on him or calling a swatting on him or something like that, and the guy would be in a lot of trouble. She doesn't face the same problems. She can put this stuff up on social media, no problems. And there are more and more women that are doing this stuff, and then when everything goes south, then they're coming forward to try to raise money. They instigate the problem, and then when they get a reaction, then they claim that they're the ones that are harmed, even when they start it all. This is becoming popular. People are doing it for clout on the internet. Women are doing it because, they don't expect men to snap back. And they know that if a man does snap back, well, the cops are probably going to listen to them, that they have all the control and the power. So if something like this happens to you and you're out and about, I'll tell you right now. Now, these aren't hard enough. Again, it almost knocked his glasses off. And if she had knocked his glasses off, which would probably be a 2 or 3 at least, although some of my glasses that I've got quoted for, by the time you pay the optometrist and get the glass, and even if you get cheap frames, you're in $300 to $500 now for a good pair of glasses. If they went down on the ground and shattered or broke or chipped or scratched or whatever, what do you do? Because a lot of guys will say, I'm not putting up with that crap. But all it takes is somebody editing the video, snipping it out, posting it on social media, and it's not your video. You look at this guy here. If this is just her and her friend, and no one else happens to be filming this interaction, and she slaps him and the glasses go flying off his head, and her friend edits out this part of the video and then just takes it from here, showing her walking away, and then all of a sudden this guy comes up behind her and starts putting the whoop down on her. They're going to go to the police. They're going to show this as evidence, and this guy here, he didn't do anything, so I'm not trying to call him out like he's a bad guy. He didn't do anything. But my point is, if he reacted, they and all these other, bystanders are long gone by the time the cops come around and everything else. It's 3 hours later. This guy's now getting a charge. This guy's going to be sitting in the clink. What if he lands what if he does pop her a good one and gets a big old something like this, and she falls over and bangs her head on the concrete? He's going to be doing 10 to 15. And it's just another example. It's another example. Where's my camera here? It's another example why men, I don't know what that is. I am going to have to replace my audio recording. It's another example. Sorry. I've got new hardware on the way. I can't figure it out. It's another example of why men are just avoiding women in general. Because you don't know if, she's sane, crazy, nuts, whatever. You don't know. And it's not worth the risk anymore. That's the big thing. That's the big thing that a lot of guys are finding out. It's not worth the risk anymore. I'm going to talk about another story here. It involves this young lady's photo. I'm going to talk about this on Locals because I can't talk about it on YouTube without dancing around so many words it becomes pointless. But if you know from this image. Guys, if you're just here on YouTube, make sure to join me on betterbachelor.locals.com. I do a little extra content when I have it, and we talk about other content that I can't post over here. Not a ton of it, but enough, and it's a great community. So I hope you become a supporter. Check it out today over at betterbachelor.locals.com. I'll leave it there. We'll talk to you in the next one.